Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Tournament. My name is Clement O'Garo. Most of you may know me as Monarch. I want to say welcome to this ceremony here at Government House. And we're going to now get God's reverence in this ceremony. At this time, I'd like to invite Pastor Leroy Benjamin to lead us in prayer.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Garo. May I invite you to stand, everybody, everywhere, please, as we look to the Lord in prayer, shall we? Our gracious God and Father, we come to thank you for today, for the gift of life, and we thank you for your watchful care and protection. Most of all, we thank you for friendship, those who share the same ideals with us, and those who have the same connection with us. We thank you for joining us together. But most of all, Lord, we come on behalf of the sport of cricket, that which joins people and cause happiness and goodness. And we pray that as the Masters Tournament get ready, we ask God that you'd make it a memorable event. We ask that there be no damages of any kind, but Lord, it will be played in the spirit of friendship, so that at the end of the day, those who are here from the various islands will go back to their various places having made friends. We thank you, God, that you're the God of peace and love, and you have given us every opportunity to serve one another and to be part of each other's company in everyday life. So we ask, Lord, that your overall blessing and everything that will take place during the next couple of days, and we ask, God, that you will continue to bless abundantly. Have your way, be with the men and women, and make this time a great time of affair. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you, Pastor. And now we're going to join our voices together in the singing of the national anthem. O land of beauty, O country where peace abound, thy children stand free, on the strength of will and love. With all our struggles, St. Kitts and Nevis be, a nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth we will serve and honor thee. No sword or spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessings shall forever to posterity extend. Thank you. You may be seated. And once again, we want to welcome everyone to this function this afternoon. Of course, I'm sure everyone's aware that they are in St. Kitts. And we have quite a bit of cricket taking place this weekend. Well, it started a couple weeks ago for the CG Women's Super 50 tournament, which ended last week. And we're in the middle of the T20 Blaze. That's the female version of cricket here in the Caribbean. And I must express my disappointment that there's all this cricket taking place and the majority of the population don't know, because it seems as if that public relations is non-existent when it comes to cricket. So I know that this is supposed to be a nice event, so I won't ramble on anymore. I will, of course, now invite the president of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters Club, Dr. Lesroy Henry, for his welcome remarks. Put your hands together and welcome Dr. Henry, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to adopt the protocol that has already been established by the chairperson, Mr. Clement Ogaro. Her Excellency, Dame Marcella LIBURD, GCMG JP, Mr. Walford Gums, Mr. Jeffrey Hazel, Director of Sports, Mr. Kenny Douglas, Ambassador of Sports, Mr. Anthony Rollins, President of the Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Association. And then we have some very ardent and long-standing sponsors, helpers of this tournament over the years, in persons like Mr. Christopher Coury of Coury's Wholesale, Mr. Sean Richards, Mr. Lindsey Grant, Springfield Egg Farm, and the former president of the St. Kitts Cricket Association, and also a member of the Leeward Islands Cricket Board. Well, that should be former. Pastor Leroy Benjamin of the Wax Copiers, executive members of the St. Kitts Masters cricket team who are sitting in front of me here, officials and teams from the neighboring islands, members of the Umpires Association, players, spectators, supporters, and the followers from our federation. Master of Ceremony, Mr. Clement Ogaro, and all others who are seated here today. Now I'm given the task of making the opening remarks. And I must say that this is not a place of commonality. Only once in a blue moon we get to have a function here like this. So whenever we get the opportunity, we should actually savor the moment. I can recall just a couple days ago, I tried getting in here for a meeting, and the guard looked at me and said, "You can't be serious." And I asked why. He said, "You have on a short pants and 2 joggers and you expect to come inside this place?" And I was so embarrassed. I said, "But I have on my expensive sandals." He said, "I don't care how expensive they be, you go back from up here." Mr. Rollins came in an old pants, but it was a long pants, and a t-shirt, and he said, "Pass." And all I had to say is not what you wear, but how you wear them. So I had to go back all the way. I didn't have a chance, but I went. And I said all of that to say this. Dame Marcella LIBURD, thank you very much for hosting us here. It's not very often we're going to be here, so we are going to make use of this opportunity. This year's tournament, in my mind, is going to be a very special one. And the real reason for this is because we have been planning this tournament for the last 3 years. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic that we had some time ago, this tournament was not successful for 3 years. But still, St. Kitts was asked to keep this tournament. So even though that it should have rotated to other countries or islands, we were still given the task of hosting the tournament. So we are here today with the tournament. So this tournament, in my mind, would be like a phoenix, a new uprising tournament that is going to be special to us. So we want to make sure that because of the new tournament, because we have to call it the second phase of the tournament, we want to make it special. So we want to make sure that St. Kitts take a very important part in this tournament this year. So I must say that our players, our spectators, would have to make a very concerted effort for this tournament this year. The reason for the Leeward Island Masters Tournament is something that we have always addressed. And people seem to have lost their way with respect to the sport. Now, maybe if you have been around for a long time, maybe in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when cricket was a way of life in the West Indies, it was easier for you to get people to participate in the sport. Now, cricket is no longer a way of life in the Caribbean. It has become a profession. So if you want a guy to come and play cricket, you have to start putting your hands in your pocket. So that is where the Masters came about. The Masters cricket team or association would like to be catering for persons over the age of 40 who still love the game and who want to be active in the sport. So we are actually trying to groom guys from 40 years upwards in the sport. And it's sometimes very challenging because cricket is not a game like football. You buy a pair of boots and you go and you play. In cricket, you have to buy a series of gears. And those can be expensive, so sometimes it's difficult to get guys to participate. And then because it's a long game, it is difficult again to have guys committing themselves to this long period of playing the game. And that is one of the reasons why we're still here, at times, I can say, at a standstill. So, to all those persons who have assisted us throughout the years, monetarily and otherwise, I would like to say thanks to all of you, and I wish you all could continue and stay on board. We see cricket not just as a game, but it's a form of sports tourism. Because look at us this afternoon, even though we don't have our full force here, we still have visitors from the neighboring islands, and their input here is going to be very significant wherever they stay, whatever they purchase. So we would like to see this continue. One of our problems, though, is the lack of air transport. For instance, we do not have the privilege of having the U.S. Virgin Islands team here because they were having problems getting to St. Kitts. So maybe this is an appeal to those in authority and who could assist in trying to improve air travel within the Caribbean or within the Leewards. Because this Masters tournament relies heavily on such. Cricketing or this sport, like any other sport, is a game of physical activities. And because of this, we are able to help the older people control conditions such as hypertension, through exercise, maybe heart attacks, and to some extent their diabetes. So cricket is not just for entertainment. It is also a health, something to do with our health and to make us more productive throughout our older part in life. And that is why I want to encourage a lot of people to be active. And if cricket is the way for you to be active, we would appreciate that very much. We would welcome you to become members of our cricketing association here. So I want to welcome all of the teams to our shows. I know you're going to have a good time, even though we are starting off a little fidgety now because of our flight problems and so on. I would like to encourage you all to stay along after the ceremony. Enjoy yourself, make the best of it. And I wish all of you a hearty stay on our island and make sure that you all enjoy yourself to your fullest. Thank you all for coming, and we'll declare the ceremony open in a bit. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Oh, I should say Dr. President. And now we're going to have remarks by Her Excellency Dame Marcella LIBURD. And Marcella, of course, is someone that I know very well. Never taught me in school, but gave me the opportunity to operate and run the carnival here in St. Kitts. And of course, she's one of our top netball players who played along with my sister back in the day. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Her Excellency Dame Marcella LIBURD, JP, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. Come on, let's give it up for her.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A very pleasant good evening to everyone. Welcome to Government House. All protocols being established do permit me to adopt the same. I must, however, acknowledge the presence of a few persons. Mr. Walford Gums, OBE, JP, His Excellency Ambassador Kenneth Douglas, Mr. Anthony Rollins, President, Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Association, Dr. Lesroy Henry, President of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters Club, Pastor Leroy Benjamin. As a former national netballer player and lifelong sports enthusiast, it is my distinct honor to be able to share my thoughts with you this evening. By way of prelude, I must confess that I am a little envious of you and wish that the netball fraternity in the region had initiated a tournament like this for us who have retired from the sport. I sincerely believe that one of the reasons for the decline in netball in the region is the lack of participation by the older, more experienced players. So kudos to you. Involvement in physical activity generally and structured sports in particular has played a transformative role in my life. Through sports, I was able to embrace several values which has significantly contributed to my development over the years. These include team spirit, teamwork, effective decision-making, discipline, healthy lifestyle, time management, empathy, and compassion, to name a few. Through sports, I was able to make and maintain connections and friendships that are deep-rooted and long-lasting. In fact, I presently enjoy many lifelong relationships because of sports. I'm sure that through this Masters tournament, you too would have met and have developed long-lasting friendships and connections that you continue to treasure. In recent times, there seems to be a growing trend that only the young are relevant to sport. By the age of 30, and definitely by the age of 35, there's a sounding alarm for one to retire. But this has been debunked and defied many times over, as we have seen and continue to see the prowess and competitiveness of top older athletes such as Tom Brady, Lionel Messi, LeBron James, and our own Clive Lloyd and Sir Vivian Richards. There is immense value in older, experienced athletes competing in national leagues or participating in masters leagues like yours. Such participation teaches invaluable lessons to young athletes and helps to maintain high standards in the sport. The insights gained through intergenerational interactions must not be underestimated, minimized, or undervalued. It is therefore of enormous importance that these types of tournaments continue to be supported and encouraged to provide continuity, especially in traditional sports that seem to be a fading attraction among the youth of our region. The Leeward Islands Cricket Masters Tournament was introduced officially in 1996, with the inaugural tournament taking place in Anguilla. And now, almost 2 decades later, it is still going strong, with 5 teams participating in this year's tournament: Nevis, Anguilla, St. Martin, Antigua, and host St. Kitts. This is reflective of the dedication and commitment of the successive executives. I do trust and hope that it continues for many more decades ahead. I am aware that one of the reasons for this tournament is to make tangible contributions towards youth development and disaster relief. I must commend your organization for embracing and contributing to 2 areas of critical importance to small island developing states. May this long continue to be an integral part of your tournament plans. Finally, let me convey my appreciation and encouragement to all players and wish you every success in the tournament. I also recognize and appreciate the support teams. As someone who played sports for many years, I am aware of how those who work behind the scenes can be overlooked, if not forgotten. I assure you that your efforts are critical to the success of the respective teams. I have learned that one of the regular teams is not in attendance this year. Nevertheless, I do hope that the tournament is exciting and yields great results. Let the tournament begin, and may the best team win. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dame Marcella. Put your hands together one more time for our Governor General. And of course, does anyone of you know which is the best team? Wow, this is quite a quiet ceremony. Doesn't sound like cricket to me, but it is. We're going to move on with the program. If you have a program, you'd recognize that the Honorable Samuel Duggins, Minister of Sports, and Mr. Dennis Phillip, President of the St. Kitts Cricket Association, was scheduled to address us here today due to unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances. Both are not here at the moment. However, they're expecting to arrive. If they do, we'll have them address the gathering. What we're going to do now, of course, we're going to have an overview of the tournament. And this would be done by the president of the St. Kitts Masters Cricket Club. And of course, this person needs no introduction. I was given this profile to read, so please pay attention, stay with me. He started, of course, playing in Old Road at a tender age of 8 under the eyes of Mr. Vincent Williams, who was then the hierarchy of sports in the village. He moved to Nevis at the age of 10 and continued to play at the Brown Hill Primary School with persons like Clifford Walwyn, Conrad Yamhead Bartlett, Vernal Powell, just to name a few. And of course, those days they played without a coach. He joined the Eastern Cricket Club at age 16 as the opening bowler. The team was then captained by Augustine Merchant. His first match was against the champion team at the time, St. George's Knights. They were captained by the late Honorable Vance Amory. He only lasted 1 over playing for Eastern Cricket Club due to the fact that in the first over at Swamp Playing Ground, he floored his brother, Elroy, with a bouncer who had to be taken to the hospital for observation. Now, why would you bowl a bouncer at your brother? The following season, he joined the St. George's Knights Cricket Club and was used as a swing bowler for the said team. The following year, he joined the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and was selected to play in his first match against the renowned cricket club. But he did not show up for the game. Instead, he went to Hard Times Estate in Nevis to spend the weekend with his mom. As a result, he was dropped from the team, but he so loved the game of cricket that he went to play with Rumjumbies Cricket Club, which was in the 2nd division. I can't see you drinking rum like that. After playing for Rumjumbies for about 3 years, Inspector Mills, who was in charge of the cricket then, selected him to play for the police team again that year. He took 35 wickets for the said season. However, he was not selected for the St. Kitts trials. I wonder why. And he was disappointed, but instead he got the administrative duties, that is what he took up, and was General Secretary of the St. Kitts Cricket Association under the presidency of Mr. Carlwees LIBURD and Mr. Dwyer Astafan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new president of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association, the Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Association. That is Mr. Anthony Alexander Rollins. Put your hands together for President Rollins, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening to all, and I want to accept the protocol as previously established. However, though, I would like to say special thanks to Her Excellency for hosting us on this special occasion. Her Excellency, as you know, was involved with sports, and it is nice to see that she continues to welcome sports, although she is in this high position. And I want to thank her and hope that she will continue to do much for the sport of cricket and for other sports in general. And thank you, Your Excellency. The Leeward Islands Cricket T20 was dormant for 2 years due to the COVID. Our last tournament was held in Antigua in 2019, and Antigua gained the championship. Antigua is not here at the moment, but they're in St. Kitts. I understand that they arrived, but they had asked to go to the hotel to drop off their gears, so we expect to see them later. The executive of the Leeward Islands continues to meet via Zoom to make sure that the affairs of the association is continued. And we'd like to use this opportunity to thank the General Secretary of the Leeward Islands Cricket Masters Association, who is based in St. Thomas, for organizing those Zoom meetings. I would also like to thank Mr. Curtis Morton, who is with us today. He's the PRO for the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. Curtis, can you stand, please? Yes, Curtis Morton, he's the PRO for the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. This year's tournament will be a good tournament. And I can tell you that one of the reasons that it will be good, because in the past, you find that the teams were zoned. And if you have a team with 3 teams in one zone, you're only likely to play 2 games. We are playing round robin, so we're playing each other. So we expect all teams to be ready, because this competition will be different from the others as we are playing round robin. We have a little setback with reference to grounds. As you're aware, the president of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters indicated that there are T20 games going now in St. Kitts, all around St. Kitts. And we were given a Molineux Sporting Complex to start our competition. Most of the games will be played at Molineux on Friday, starting on Friday. And the first game is at 9 o'clock, and is Antigua versus Anguilla. At 12 o'clock is St. Kitts versus St. Martin, and at 3 o'clock is Nevis versus Anguilla. Unfortunately, that we do not have St. Thomas and St. Croix with us this evening due to flight problem, difficulties into St. Kitts. As Dr. Henry indicated, that maybe that is time that we pay attention to flight arrangement and see what we can do to improve it so that we can get more competition going on in St. Kitts, because as you're aware, St. Kitts is always a good host, and we're looking forward to do such. For information's sake, in 2024, the tournament will be held in Anguilla, and in 2025, the tournament will be held in St. Martin. As president of the Leeward Islands Cricket Association, One of the things that I had inspired to get done is to get a team from this tournament to go to Barbados to play in the crop over. The discussions has started already, but there seems to be some stumbling blocks. One of the areas that we are facing with difficulties is that Barbados Masters, they want us to pay the airfare for our team because we're looking at least 16 players from this tournament. But then we are asking for appearance fee because it's all good that we go to Barbados because these games will be competition and there will be gate receipts. And we are asking for appearance fee, but for some reason, we are not getting a go-ahead on that. So with those few words, I would just like to thank all the teams, Antigua, Anguilla, Nevis, St. Martin, and host country St. Kitts for taking part in this Leewards Master Cricket Association T20 competition, and may the best team win.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rollins, President of the Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Association. And we definitely appreciate the information for the tournament. Looks like this weekend, which is a holiday weekend here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we'll have some great cricket. And again, we'd like to say thanks to all the teams for making it here to St. Kitts. And I want you to put your hands together for each of the team. Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Sister Isle Nevis, St. Martin, and host St. Kitts. Thank you very much. And now we will invite Mr. Austin Williams, who is the Vice President of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters Club. He is going to come to address us. Mr. Austin.
Good evening, everybody. This fellow was sitting in his front room. His wife came and knocked him over his head, knocked him down. It wasn't me. When he catch himself, he said, "What that for?" He said, "I was going through your phone and the name Jenny appears a lot." He said, being a vet, me I say spacer, right? But being a vet, he said, "Oh, when I go to the track, that's the horse I bet on." And next day, she knock him again, knock him unconscious and all. When he catch himself, he said, "What that for now?" He said, "Your horse Jenny just called." On a bus, two women were arguing over a seat. The last seat in the bus. The conductor tried to resolve the problem. Can't get it done. The bus driver shout, "Tell the ugliest one take the seat." Guess what happened? Argument done. The two of them stand up for the rest of the... Right, there's not much I could say now because everything may be covered in the foregoing. But to say, we hope you enjoyed attending our event as much as we enjoyed putting it together. We have 11 matches fixtured for the tournament. As you have heard, I want to apologize because the teams from the Virgin Islands really wanted to come. They made every effort. I would tell you too that the St. Croix team hosted a tournament in November just because this tournament was absent. There were 2 teams from St. Croix, 1 from St. Thomas, and a team from New York that I played for. They really wanted to come. They missed the cricket. And as you would have heard, a lot has been done. And as I said, they tried hard to make it here. It is now time for the players to take center stage. Let us all have fun and enjoy the spectacle and also pay respect to the spirit of cricket. Before we all head out, I wish to say that if you can lime and play, there are a lot of action around this weekend. Green Valley, you could check that out. That's the Green Valley Festival. You could check that out in Cairn. Mine say if you could lime and play. That go late, so you got some earlier action like going to karaoke. You could go tonight at Barry's, or Friday night at the Dock, this the man here, and Sunday night at Jamrock. And you could check Spratnet Friday night, a good lime, and the Dock on Sunday night. You find me there anytime, every Sunday night. If you miss me, that's where I am. A lot to enjoy. So you have your choice. Thanks to everyone who showed up tonight, and to all the teams. Give it your best shot and compete with a spirit of sportsmanship as well. Demonstrate fair play, and may the best team win. I wish everyone all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. And of course, I don't think you were telling us about all these events. I don't think that's a secret at all. Unfortunately, we don't have any music here tonight. So if we want the commissioner to dance, maybe both me and King Astro will have to strike up the band tonight with some calypso. We'd like to welcome the team that's just joining us. Put your hands together for, and which team is joining us right now? Antigua. Is it Antigua and Barbuda? Antigua. All right, so one more time, give it up for the Antiguans who are here with us. Definitely appreciate that. All right, and now we're going to move on to, and I'll invite Mr. Kenny Douglas, our Ambassador Kenny Douglas, who's a special advisor in the sports ministry, to give the vote of thanks. Put your hands together for Ambassador Kenny, ladies and gentlemen.
A pleasant good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. Protocol established, but allow me, as usual, to recognize Her Excellency, Dame Marcella LIBURD. Thank you very much for allowing us time here at Government House to host such a wonderful ceremony. I know that I'm here to give the vote of thanks, but while we are here during the ceremony, I was communicating with our Minister of Sports, Samuel Duggins, and he asked me to give you his apologies for not coming here this evening. He really wanted to be here, but because of another engagement, he cannot make it. So he asked me just to give a few remarks on his behalf. And so I just want to say, piggybacking on what the president of the Masters Association of the Leeward Islands said, and also from what the president of the St. Kitts Masters Association said. This event, this Masters competition, is a very, very important event. Yes, we are Masters, and I say we because I am looking forward also to take part in this tournament starting from tomorrow, playing with the St. Kitts Masters cricket team. So I am saying that we are very, very, very looking forward for this, sorry. Yes, so it is very, very important because we are over the age, over the hill. As a matter of fact, 40 years and over, you may find people at that age. And it is very, very important. I myself, as a physical education teacher, a sportsman all my life, we often ask people to make sure that you exercise all your life. Not just when you are children or when you are a child, but every aspect of your life. And as I said before, we are off of the almanac now. We are not 20 anymore. We are not 30 anymore. We are 40 and over. And a tournament like this is very, very significant, very, very important because it gives us the opportunity. Those of us who don't exercise, those of us who are stuck behind our desks, stuck in our houses, in our chairs, doing nothing at all, or on the computer. This gives us the opportunity to be out there just 3 days, maybe 3 days in a year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just to do some exercise. I think it was the doctor who mentioned that exercise is very, very important. If you know this, the statistic here in St. Kitts and Nevis, where cancers and diabetes, all of these things, they are very, very prevalent. These are diseases that kill a lot of people here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so that is one of the very, very important aspects why a tournament like this is very important. So as the ambassador of sports, I just would like to say, I am looking forward for playing a tournament like this every single year. I think it was Mr. Rollins who mentioned that the last time we played this tournament was in Antigua in 2019, sorry. And so I am hoping and wishing that we have no more hiccups, no more problems, so that we can put it off for not even 2 years. But we want to make sure that next year and the other year and the other year, that all of us here are participating in this type of tournament. So with just those small, short remarks, I would just like to do exactly what the Minister of Sports asked me to do. And I know we are here to celebrate, but I want to say best of luck to all of the participating teams. Teams from Anguilla, teams from Antigua, teams from Nevis, teams from St. Martin, and the host country, St. Kitts. And officially opening the 2023 Masters competition. Also, I was tasked to say thank you to everyone who participated or who have done anything to make this possible. And I would like to start with Her Excellency, Dame Marcella LIBURD, who have given us the opportunity to host this opening ceremony right here. And as someone said before, Marcella is an ardent supporter, not just of cricket, but in sports in general. I want to make a little joke with her though, because I want to let her know that Liverpool came fifth. Liverpool came fifth just today. My team, Manchester United, defeated Chelsea, and so she can't pass me anymore. Sorry about that, Marcella. I want to say thank you very much to Governor General Deputy Mr. Walford Gums for gracing us with his presence. I want to say a very, very big thank you to our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Clement Ogaro Monarch, for willingly chairing this ceremony this evening. Allow me to say big thank you to all of us who lustily sang the national anthem this evening. Thank you very much to our pastor, Leroy Benjamin, for invoking God's blessing on tonight's proceeding. Allow me to say a big thank you to Dr. Leroy Henry, who is the president of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters Club. Thank you very much for your brief remarks, sir. Allow me also to say a big thank you to President of the Leeward Islands Masters Association, that is Mr. Anthony Rollins, for giving us the overview of the tournament. I would also like to say to Mr. Williams for your closing remarks. Thank you very much, and thank you for those jokes that you gave us. I really hope that you were not talking about our doctor, Mr. Leroy Pacer Henry. Allow me to also say thank you to some very important persons. Without sponsorship, this competition would not have been possible. So allow me to say thank you to Cooley's Wholesale. Thank you to Honorable Sean K. Richards. Thank you to Lindsay Grant. Yes, Lindsay Grant. Allow me to also say thank you very much to Pastor Leroy Benjamin once again through Xerox for his contribution. And thank you very much to the executive and members of the Masters Association of the Leeward Islands and also the Masters Association of St. Kitts and Nevis. If I have forgotten you in any way, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the media right here, those of you who provided food, who contributed in any way. I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you once again.
I thank you, Ambassador Kenny. And now it's time for us to hear from the teams that are here. So we are representative from each of the teams that are here, one representative each. We need you to come and say whatever you got to say, throw your threats. Okay, we're going to start with Nevis. How about Nevis? Huh? All right, and in the meantime, the other representatives can start walking forward. We're going to go with St. Martin. Are you here? Okay, then we'll go with Antigua next after Nevis.
Good evening, everyone. This is Nevis representing the stage right now. I wasn't prepared to be here, actually, but to say welcome to all the teams to St. Kitts, and we're looking forward to having some great games throughout the next couple of days. So to that, I said thank you.
Okay. Well, that was even shorter than the water taxi to St. Kitts. All right, so let's hear from Antigua. Are you guys telling me nobody from Antigua can talk? That's not my experience. All right, let's go. Put your hands together for the rep from Antigua.
Good evening to everyone. You have to bear with me. I have a little thing at my throat. Yeah. Yes, we are here to represent Antigua and to represent the champion. We're champion in Antigua from 2019. And so we came here to be champion again. And I'm telling the teams, just look out for Antigua. So come good, and we will be on the field battling. After the field, we can be always friends. Okay? So good night.
All right, that's Wadadli, folks from Wadadli. Okay. Do we have Anguilla in the house? All right, put your hands together for Anguilla, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Protocol already established. It's indeed a pleasure to be here after such a long time and a layoff from the Masters tournament. We've been missing you guys for the past 3 years, but we are back. We are here to have fun. I can see some guys are having fun already. I bring you greetings from back home from all those who could not make it, former President Alkin Rogers and the rest. Tournament starts tomorrow. We'll have fun tonight. We'll be war on the field. After the field, we'll all hug each other, have a drink at the bar, and have a good tournament. All the best. Stay safe, play fair, and have fun. And may the best team win. Thank you.
All right, put your hands together for Anguilla one more time. All right, and who else do we have in the house? St. Kitts, are you here? Okay, movement. St. Kitts, are you here? Okay. Okay.
Good evening to everyone. Good night, and everybody looking good today. Hey, I want to big up the Excellency. And listen, what happened? St. Kitts people are afraid already. The game will start yet, and I look like I want to come on the field. Anyway, I want to just say St. Kitts should be ready. We are here to host, and we're going to host highly and powerfully, and we're coming hard. So all the teams who come in, we welcome you. But let's have a good time, battle it out on the field, and then we go have a drink. Anyway, everybody have a good time. Enjoy the lime tonight. And tomorrow, bam, cricket start.
All right, that's St. Kitts. St. Martin, are you in the house? All right, well, come and say something. You can say it in Dutch, you can say it in French. Papiamento. All right, here we go. I'm telling you, you got it. St. Kitts, you got to check some of these birth certificates. Is it a tournament for over 40, you said?
Good evening, 42 to be exact. Unfortunately, we arrived late, but it's good to be here. I've been St. Kitts many times, but it's been a while. The last time was 2008. And I always love St. Kitts, but tomorrow is a dig-dong battle. I think that you're going to return on the boat Monday morning or Monday afternoon. So all my guys get ready. They will win that championship and bring it over the water. Good luck to all the guys, all the teams. I know all the teams who are here, but I know for sure St. Kitts is here. So big up to all my St. Martin guys, ready to fight. All right? Thank you.
All right, so one more time we want to give it up for all the teams. Antigua, Anguilla, Nevis, St. Martin, and St. Kitts. Did I miss anybody? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for your patience here with us tonight during this ceremony. We're now going to have a cocktail reception. However, of course, the protocol is that Her Excellency will take off. So we'll move first, I should say. So we should stand while Her Excellency is escorted. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody's saying may the best team win. Who is the best team? I haven't heard anybody. Who is the best team? I haven't been convinced so far. All right, so